I think back on my medical education, health care delivery, I didn't get one lecture on health or one lecture on care. And I didn't really get it because the doctors didn't talk about it. Never was mentioned. But I got in practice, and in a 4-hour interview, I found out that huge numbers of people almost didn't do anything for themselves for their health. The exercise movement, healthy eating movement had not hit the U.S., so you take a dietary history and an exercise history, and terms like couch potato feel like a diagnostic direction. So, and then you can tell people, why don't you try exercise, cut back on your Cokes, instead of 5 Cokes a day, do 1 Coke a day. And it was hard to get people to want to change, to try things at home. So we did it in our home. So there was yoga in the living room. No one had to do it. But if it looked like the fun thing to do at the time, you could see people coming in there or sitting at the side. And we were young and loved rock and roll, so we had all-night dance parties 2 or 3 times a week. And the ethic was dance as long as you can. And it was so much easier if there was a room full of people screaming and yelling to fast rock and roll to get up and do it. And people, I could point out to them how it energized them, that normally they could not dance as long as they did by themselves, but you can start talking about taking energy from other people by your watching other people that you care about dancing like crazy. You can dance longer like crazy. And so the foods we ate, the fact that we gardened, all of these things were, farmers gardened. But in the 70s, when we started, people were starting gardens in their backyard or front yard, and all of this became enchanting to us. And it was clear at first we were affectionate because we were affectionate, but it also became something to talk about and make sure it was an environment so that a person would try the yoga in the living room and maybe not try it again for another 2 months, but they come back and they remember how good they felt, and so they try it again. And it wasn't below me to use somebody I knew they liked to say, "Hey, Charlie, come on and exercise with me." And Charlie would. So the zones of proximal development and friendship seduction got a lot of people to eat and do things they might not normally do, because telling them to do it was not a very strong motivator. Beep.